All right, you guys, we're here with Maddie. We're so excited. We're gonna just do a little fun, little interview. Nothing crazy, but it's sponsored. It's sponsored by Beauties Not Bullies, and I just gave her a makeover, so we're gonna kind of have that in the video too. And I'm just kind of showing how to wave her up, style her at the end, while we do a little talking.
Ooh,
yeah.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, just before we started filming, I said, hey, did you get some M&Ms over here? And I said, what's your favorite candy? And then you said, wait, candy or chocolate? You made
there's
it
a difference.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
And what are you more a fan of, candy or chocolate?
You know, it depends on the mood, but I would say I like almost every type of candy, but I don't like every type of chocolate.
Same.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I do love chocolate.
Okay, we can go deep dive here.
We
do
can
you like,
do-
do you like,
deep
like
dive.
dark chocolate
No.
or like milk chocolate?
Milk chocolate, but I can dabble into the dark chocolate and white chocolate, but I like a milk chocolate.
Yeah.
Like
White
with
milk.
caramel, white? Yeah,
Love
not-
caramel, love peanut butter, or just plain milk chocolate.
The sea salt stuff's getting big now these days too.
It is. It's okay.
It's okay,
not
it's
my
a little-
favorite.
Just
White
wait, you get a little older, you get a little
Yeah.
older, and
I
you start experimenting a little bit.
Sea salt.
Sprinkle
Sprinkle some sea salt on there.
Salt Bay on it.
White chocolate is not chocolate.
Yeah, it does
do
not
you
as
really
good.
call it chocolate? It's
No.
like a farce. It's like a lie.
Yeah, for some reason it feels unhealthy.
It,
Like,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's like
Fake
it's trying to be yogurt, but it's not. It's like
Yeah.
chocolate. It's not. It's like in its own like.
It feels
world.
fake. It just is not. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not good.
I agree. Okay, but then when it comes to candy,
Yeah.
Sour.
sour, non-sour,
All really all. You know, random candies that I really like nerd ropes.
Oh. Have you?
I
Dude,
love a good
okay.
nerd rope.
We
you
have
had
some
the-
ropes
wait, No,
for
have you
you.
had the nerd rope
Oh.
candies that are now
The,
they have
those small bite-sized
Yes,
ones.
yes.
They're so good.
No, but I think what's even better
Yeah.
is those sweet tart ropes.
What are those? Oh.
It's like a
Yeah, I'm gonna
licorice
have
with
to
like a
disagree
sweet
with you,
tart.
Rich.
What?
But I do like those. But they're not as
You
good
like
as
the
the
crunchy
nerds.
nerds?
I just love nerds.
Yeah.
So like I love it paired together. But I like nerd ropes. I like Laffy Taffies. I like sweet tarts.
I love Laffy Taffies.
Love
Banana.
What banana?
Oh my, have you
Bananas?
okay, you have to put try putting banana with strawberry on top and twist it
Oh.
together. Try it next
Okay,
time.
that sounds amazing.
It's so good. I
So
figured it out. And
Bubblicious used to make this gum.
Banana split.
Banana split gum.
oh.
I'm talking, and this is when we were in high school.
We're talking 45 years ago.
She
Stop.
she had like 3 packs a day, and then she went to the dentist once, and they said you had how many cavities?
I think I had 14.
Cavities?
Yeah. I was like, there's no way. Recheck that.
Recheck.
So my friends laughed because she got home that way. We had like a night out, with like date night out, and she's like, Rich, I can't eat any more gum. I have 14 cavities. We were dying. We were all laughing, just like dying. And then like 10 minutes later, she's like, hey, I need my
Can I
gum.
have
And
some
I'm like,
gum?
sure. Like, what do you need? Like, they're just like, don't you remember? She said, no. I'm like, I can't help it.
Oh my
That's what I've
gosh.
done for 30
Yeah, I
years.
just found out that you guys are like high school
Yeah,
sweethearts.
it's a long, good
That's
story.
It's a
amazing.
whole different.
One time while driving the salon team to California, Chrissy flew because she had to get here early. I drove separate for some reason with the salon team. I literally told the story
So
of our
one person
like.
asked.
One person asked like, so how'd you and Chrissy meet? I think it was the whole drive.
To be fair,
I think it was like
okay,
6
that doesn't surprise me.
That just shows how much.
they didn't.
I can talk.
They're like, he never took a breath.
Yeah, they were like, I really just asked one question.
I'm reciting our
I-
letters while I lived overseas and.
Oh, she told me a
Yeah,
little bit of that, which is like actually the coolest thing because you were on mission in
Yes,
Italy, right?
yeah.
Or that's where you were,
Yeah,
Italy.
Milan, Italy.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
But that was back in the day when we actually wrote letters. Like,
yeah, that's
how
so
we,
sweet.
That's
though.
how we communicate.
See,
It was like
then
letters.
we need to have a whole other podcast where you train men on how to be men.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't know if I'm the guy, but I'm not gonna claim to be.
Hey, I like the letters. That's a great start.
But it
Right.
is a definitely a
It's because there was no
nostalgic.
phones. That's how I did
Oh
that.
yeah.
yeah.
Because
There was no
we called
phone.
home twice a year, but when we called home for an hour and a half, that call was like $150.
Right.
Now you call for free, FaceTime
Right.
for free across the world, right?
Yeah.
It's such a different just time and everything. So, anyways, okay, so candy deep dive. Okay, you get stuck on a desert island.
Yeah. mhm.
What's the one candy, not chocolate, that you have on that desert island? I think I'll guess Chrissy's. Let me see if I'm right. But what would you take?
That's so hard.
Like, what are you not gonna get?
sick
Like,
of.
That's the thing is like, what are you not gonna get sick of?
Or do you have
yeah.
to eat this candy for a meal?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what I'm saying. Like,
no,
is
you
it trying
still
to
go out
fool
and
me?
forage
Oh,
for like
okay.
coconuts and small game that you can trap or something, you know. I mean, but you have candy. That's your secret guilty pleasure is this candy that you have an unlimited amount of. What would it
See,
be?
I feel like it can't be too strong of a candy, or I'm
No.
gonna get so sick of it. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So that's why I'm kind of like, would I just do the basic gummy bears? Because you're not gonna probably get sick of the gummy bears,
You won't.
right? Like,
Well,
but I don't know. That's a hard one. I really might stick with my Laffy Taffies.
I think Laffy Taffies you wouldn't get sick because they're not too sour.
Chrissy, there's
Yeah.
no way you would. I know exactly what you would take.
What?
Hot tamales.
I would take hot
Oh, I love hot tamales.
You swear it gives her like energy,
it does.
like
though.
that spice. That
It wakes you up.
Yeah, she thinks it's like a fat burner too. I
But
swear.
sometimes you can get ones that are too much spice. Like
Yeah.
it's like too much of the what's that spice? Ginger, not ginger.
Clove.
It's a clove.
Yeah, we've
Like
had
if you-
some. We're very finicky. We're getting very, like.
You should call
this is a
it
bad
hot
batch.
tamales, people.
This is a bad batch. I got a bad batch.
Be better.
Yeah.
Be more consistent.
It's like too much clove sometimes.
Well, hopefully Hot Tamales is listening, and you'll get. You guys will both get
Yeah.
a huge a year supply of hot tamales.
Hot tamales.
are the best.
And then we'll put it on the stories.
You know, like my growing up, my biggest thing was Auntie Anne's pretzels. Have you ever had Auntie Anne's
Oh,
pretzels?
of course.
Okay,
Like, you can't
every
stop
time-
eating them all.
Oh, every time you go to the
Without-
mall, every time you go to travel, like in the airport, always get Auntie Anne's pretzels. And they like reached out to me, they were like, Maddie, we love you, we want to send you all these pretzels. And I was living my best life. Like
That
they
is-
showed up, they had buckets
What?
of every type. It was like the regular, like original pretzels, it was the cinnamon ones, it was the pizza ones.
Pizza ones.
They were so good. Oh, I
Like, were
was
they fresh?
fresh, hot.
No.
They had like a team deliver it. And like they kept it where it was like warm, and they were like,
Genius.
oh, it was so good.
Okay, so it's a lot of work. Now, Chrissy's sister, Kimmy, is like a baker, okay? So it's a lot of work. So I'm not recommending this because we don't bake,
Mhm.
okay? But she knows how to make it taste crispy like that.
Like
You do
amazing.
not, you know what it is? They put a secret ingredient in. Okay, and Auntie Anne's is probably watching this, maybe. Hopefully.
They're probably like, you don't know
Like, you don't even know
what
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I swear, what she put on it, because she read and did some research, baking soda. Baking
Interesting.
soda and water and made like a wash. And then like coated it, and then when you bake it, that's what gives it that like crazy like texture and crunch, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because you're like, how do you get that?
Yeah.
It's like unique.
Right.
So I just gave away Auntie Anne's
You
secret.
just gave away everyone's
Yeah.
secret. They
To
were
the
mad
two
at
people
them.
that are on.
I
think Auntie Anne's is safe.
They're one of them.
I think they're
no, they're
safe.
one of the two.
They're one of the
yeah,
two?
they're one of the
Sweet.
two.
Okay,
Sorry,
good.
guys. That's hilarious.
So you living in Dallas.
Living in Dallas.
Living in
My
Dallas.
first time not living in Alabama. Like I'm born and raised Alabama.
Love the nest.
Been there my whole life. Family's still there. And my
Do you
first time away
miss
from home.
Alabama?
No.
Texas is a fun place though.
It is a fun place. Like Alabama will always be home.
Of course, home is home. It
But
feels so good. to be
it's
home.
just I wasn't made for like the small town. I don't feel like. So I just love like the diversity in Dallas and just like the opportunities and
Sure.
so much to do and you're just It's
What's
so
that
fun.
drive?
The drive
Yeah.
to Alabama from
Yeah.
Dallas?
6 hours?
Oh no, it's probably like 12 hours.
Is it that far?
It's
Sure,
far.
my geography. So
Yeah,
you say
it's
better-
okay.
You say
I'm
it better than that, but I think
I'm directionally
You
challenged.
forget how big
so-
Texas is. You drive
It's
across
huge,
Texas can take
yeah.
6 hours.
We went to Austin for a weekend, my roommate and I,
Mhm.
and it was like a 4-hour drive with
Just-
bad traffic.
Just Austin.
Yeah, just to Austin. And that's like not even that far on the
Yeah,
map.
that's crazy.
But traffic is getting so bad in Dallas, it's like kind of like LA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just so many people.
So many people
much-
moving there.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to live there.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we've gone, we've loved it.
So we're
It's
trying to
just
come
so
fence.
Great time. We'll come. Open a salon there.
Yeah. She's like,
It's
shut
in,
up.
it's in the master plan.
Yeah, good. As long as it's in the master plan.
Yes.
Just hit it like as long as I'm there.
So what other projects are
Anything crazy
you
or-
working on? You hinted something at me, but I'm not sure, I know some stuff needs to stay,
There's
But what can you
some
tell us? What can you tell
There's
us?
some stuff I haven't announced yet, but
Yeah.
I just announced like literally a couple weeks ago that my book is coming out this October. And that is so exciting, and that's something I've been working on for so long.
So cool.
And you just pour so much. Like I wrote it myself. Like I didn't have any help. My mom helped me a little bit, but other than that, like I didn't have any
You
help.
literally just,
Like,
And
you
I
can
just
write
wrote
a
it.
book.
Yeah.
just
I mean, like my publisher would be like on the phone with me. They'd be like, "Hey, we need you to like turn in 2 more chapters by the end of the day," and I would have to like just sit there and be like, okay, God, what am I gonna say? Like, what am I talking about?
Did you ever have like the full on like in the movies like writer's block? You think like writer's block where you're just like, it's done. I don't want you to jinx you. It's done and written.
It's done. It's written. Yeah, we're good.
We
Yeah, the content is all done. No, I never really had writer's block. Thankfully, thank God. There were definitely moments where like you just don't feel like it, you know, like you're sitting there and you're just like I can't get my mind to concentrate and focus
and get in the groove.
Because it really is such like a mental emotional thing.
Sure.
And so there would be times where I had to like go and take like a retreat, and I would like get completely off my phone, off social media, and I would be like staying in like a condo at the beach by myself. I mean,
that's what like Stephen King, I mean, who wrote hundreds and hundreds, they would do, right? They'd get in their zone, they get in their place, and just like,
block everything else out.
Yes, and then just create. Or just get it out.
Yeah. So it takes like discipline, but it also like you have to have that creativity and like privacy and just room to be able to just like go.
So cool. I feel like, you know, when you do education classes, when you're giving 100% of everything, it's crazy how fun it is, but it's also exhausting. Like literally, would you write and like pour yourself into it? Would you like feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like tired? Is it like that kind of like mental?
Yeah. Oh, you would be so tired. I mean, there were nights I pulled, nights I pulled all-nighters, and you're writing about like, and like one of the scariest parts of even sharing about my book is like, this is like a journal that I'm sharing with people, right? Like this is my life. These are things, these are struggles that I've had and things that I'm even still struggling with, and so it's very vulnerable. And I'm not a very vulnerable person. I'm like
yourself up.
Yeah, I'm a very like strong person. Like always, for the longest time, was like, don't cry. Crying is a weakness. And now I'm like, obviously, no, that's not the case. And so I've grown a lot in that way, but it's still scary. Like you're putting your story out there and just like your fears and your everything. And so.
But that's what I think is most like. That's when it's most. Like resonates with people. You know what I mean? Like when the artists have the breakup, like, you know, Gwen Stefani broke up from No Doubt, you know, from her boyfriend was in the band. Like they wrote all the songs. Like she wrote all the songs that they became the #1 hits because they're like have the most emotion.
Well, I think strength inspires people, but I think when you're vulnerable and you show like your weaknesses, that's what like moves and captivates people. Yeah. Like that's what's actually gonna like pull people in and like make people feel like, oh, like I actually understand like what, you know. And so I don't know, I've had to learn that a lot, and so it's been, but yeah, no, it definitely, like when you're pouring like your emotions into it, you're reliving it, you know, like you're writing about something that happened years ago that was like such an emotional moment for you, and you're feeling it as you're writing it, and so you're like fully reliving a lot of like pains and rejections and lonely moments
and good times
and great times, and
but all of it's a drama.
But all of it, and you're just like full on. And same with speaking. I do a lot of speaking, and you know, and like speaking, you're just like pouring your heart and soul out into that, and so it's draining.
That's awesome. Well, Chrissy and I have been working on this project. We've been talking about some of these dreams and things we want to do, and it's Beauty Not Bullies. We talked a little bit about it today, earlier, and it's one of those things where again you open yourself up. You know what I mean? And we found that, you know, being in social media. Being with social media influencers and athletes and people that are in that public eye, that a common reoccurring theme is this bullying that has just kind of taken over in a lot of ways. And so there's this quote that I love. It's like, you know, it's like, call me insensitive, but you know, I only want to talk about your problems once. Our next discussion should be about solutions. It's one of those things where it's like, you hear a lot of people complain about it, and we complain about it. Man, I wish this bullying would stop, and I wish people would take a second to get to know you, see that you're a real person, the emotion behind it, and then it's like, okay, well then what can we do? You know, so we came together and we kind of started a foundation, a nonprofit group, and and really it's, you know, Beauty Not Bullies. The beauty industry stands up to bullying because kindness is beautiful. Really, so it's this kindness initiative where, you know, when you see and hear about this, it's something like, you know, I need to be more kind and loving. And that's what, so if I say bullying to you, like what's the first thought that comes to mind? Is there something like that just like, I mean like an experience or something?
A lot.
Okay, where do you start?
Well, first of all, I think that's amazing. And I love your and Chrissy's heart, like just in, like I remember when you first shared this with me a while ago.
And I was like,
yes, I was like, I love this. I remember I told you about it.
Me in the Sprinter van.
It was a pimped out van. I was like, you guys, we gotta go have dinner in this van. But yeah, I just remember when you were first sharing it with me, I was like, man, that's so cool. And I just think that we live, you know, we talked about this, like in just very cancel culture. And I think there's not a whole lot of people saying like, I'm gonna stand for kindness and I'm gonna spread kindness and just like share that message with more people. And so I just think that's really cool, like what you guys are doing. And when I think about it, there's so many moments that immediately like come into my mind when I think about bullying.
Yeah.
Things that I've experienced, things that I've witnessed other people experience. And a lot of times I think it leaves you with that same feeling of just feeling like misunderstood and just hurt, and like you want to just like defend yourself, but you also like want to just be kind and like want to just be like, okay, like, but more than
fire just like makes more
exactly
fire.
And then it's like, but really more than anything, you're just like, but like that's not even my heart. Like I wish I could just like show you my heart, and you feel so misunderstood. But I had like one actual circumstance in high school. I talk about this a little bit in my book, but I had one circumstance in high school where I was like legit like bullied by this girl.
Oh, God.
And
like,
she
sometimes the physical stuff,
yeah,
like
she was like trying to like threaten me like even physically, but especially with her words and like spreading rumors about me. And like in high school, that's like, I mean, that's like crushing,
so
you know?
impressionable.
Like you're not even like fully confident in who you are. You're still trying to figure out who you are.
And
so
every day feels like an eternity, or if I feel this way today, I'm gonna feel this way forever.
Yeah.
Like, it's like my world's over, my life is over.
Exactly. And there was this situation where she had dated this guy for a while, they'd broken up, and this guy was like interested in me, but I was not interested in him. Like I was living my life. I wasn't worried about him or her or anybody else. And but she was like upset that he liked me, and so she was like bullying me because he liked me, and I was like, I'm not doing anything. Like I'm just. But she was spreading all these rumors and calling me really horrible names. And there was this like one time in school where she like approaches me and she like corners me into the locker, and she's like yelling all these things, and like everyone's in the hall, like everyone can see
like
it.
A movie.
It legit feels like a movie. And she like corners me, and then she goes and acts like she's about to punch me, but she punches right beside my face
locker.
And punches
Like
the locker
movie.
door shut. And I'm like, I was so dramatic. I was like, what is even happening? And like the best thing you can do to a bully is just like be kind or ignore them, because that just like makes them more mad. And so I just laughed, and that like ticked her off. She was so mad. And so I just like start laughing, and which only makes her more mad. And I just like walk away, and I didn't even have time to like worry about this for a second. And so I just like walk away, but she's like stomping after me and like yelling all these names, and it was like this whole moment. And so that was really hard. And then fast forward to like my life now, I think anytime you step out and do something that you feel like you're supposed to do, or you stand up for like something that you believe in, or you just live your life, like oftentimes there's just a lot of people that are just gonna hate on you, or who disagree with you, or who feel threatened for whatever reason. And so I've dealt with a lot of that through social media. Just a lot of people. I mean, things that have been said to me that you would like be mind blown that people could even say, like, and maybe you guys have experienced it, but like,
and they start attacking your children,
attacking your family, just death threats. I mean, just the meanest things that you could possibly say to someone. And you know, for the longest time, like it like really messed with me. Like it was so hard to just like not be fazed by that. Like you can hear all day long, like, oh, sticks and stones will break your bones, and words. It's like, no, like words stick with you, and like words hurt, and they have an impact.
I saw this TikTok. Ladies,
I love sentences that start with that. I saw this TikTok.
It's gonna be something.
Because I saw it.
It was this lady that had a paper, and she's like, "Okay, say something mean about that. Someone could say mean about you." So she's coming in the paper every time she says something mean. Then it's in a ball, and then she's like, "I'm so sorry that I said those mean things to you." Uncrumbles the paper, but she's like, "Look, see, like, is the paper perfect now?" No, it still has like like
all the
scars and crinkles, and
like they still remember.
Yeah.
It's,
Like
you can't
you can
fully
say sorry,
erase
but you can't like take away your words.
Yeah. That's such a good point.
It's a great point.
And and I think that's why like I try to always be so intentional with the words that I say, because I think sometimes we can be careless with our words and not even think much about it. And I think that's what you see is a lot of people who are bullying other people. Sometimes they don't even see it necessarily as bullying, or maybe they do, but I think they just are so comfortable with like sitting behind a screen and just like saying whatever they feel like saying. And to them, like to some people it's like humorous, like they think it's funny, or it's like a way to cope for whatever they're walking through. It's like, oh, let me just like be mean to somebody else, that'll make me feel better. And it's just like, it's such a, it's just not, I don't know, it just to me, it's
like a progressive downhill slide.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just needs to stop.
Because then you're hurting someone who's like hurting people hurt people. And so when you hurt someone and then they feel hurt, then they go and hurt someone. And it's just like
a constant ball.
Yeah, it's this cycle.
So,
and
quote I always say, Mother Teresa, Chrissy, what is it? I always say it.
World peace starts at your home.
If you want to have world peace, go home and love your family. You know what I mean? And I think it's simple as that. If you go and love somebody and that love spreads, we're criers. I'm like so close so many times already to crying. It's like, I'm not teaching a man card here. But this stuff hits you know what I mean? It does. And it hits everybody from, again, we've been at concerts. The highest level artists that you see, and it's how it affects everybody. So thank you so much for sharing all of that. And just your emotion.
And I think that it is real, and I think not enough people like speak out about it, because I think a lot of people want to just seem unfazed, and they want to be like, no, I'm strong, I'm good, like people don't bother me, I don't care what people think. But the truth is, like, many people are going home crying themselves to sleep, even though they're not showing that to the rest of the world. And like words are hurtful, and we do care, like whether we ever want to admit or not, we do care what people think. And there's no worse feeling than feeling misunderstood, when like you know your heart and you know what you're trying to do and the difference you're trying to make or the people you're trying to help. And when you feel so judged and misunderstood and accused for something that you're not, it's really hurtful. And so I don't know, I've learned a lot. It's taught me just kind of what you guys are doing, to just be more intentional with my words and to spread that kindness, because there is so much just darkness being spread, and so much just like canceling being done, and attacking being done, and belittling being done, and bullying being done. And it's like, so what can I do? Like, how can I be a part of like fixing that and creating a change in the culture? Well, it's like, it starts with my family, it starts with my friends, it starts with my church, it starts with where I'm at. Like, I might not can just like change the entire world at one time, but I can start with like my spheres and like the people that are around me, and with where I'm at in my life right now.
And nowadays, as you sit there and you're scrolling and looking and commenting and liking and hearting, you know what I mean? And I think if people could take that extra second to think about what am I going to say, you know what I mean? And sometimes I can say this and get away with it because it's not really mean, but it's a kind of a slight dig. And I think if people can start to take a second and think about those words that they say, it's that chain reaction. You know what I mean? I think it'd be amazing to see when someone says something mean and how that can just spread to you go home and have a bad day, and then they're mean to their kids, and you know what I mean, and their spouse, and it just kind of snowballs. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. I just really believe in this and in this movement of just like creating kindness and stopping like the hate and the bullying. Like, I think that's just so needed.
We got a lot of stuff coming. The website's coming out, and then we're gonna have like support groups, some education, advocacy, like, you know. We have a lot of good stuff, so we'll keep you posted.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.